Thank you for watching this video and welcome to my journey using this tattoo removal cream called Boroline. As you probably saw in my first video, I started using this Boroline cream 3 months ago. I posted the first video not because I wanted to be a YouTuber, but because I couldn't find any information on this cream before I used it. And I did a lot of research and I decided to use the cream to see if it would work on my tattoos. After the first month, I decided to share the information because I thought there should be some information on YouTube about this Boroline cream, some honest information. There is some information on YouTube and other websites about this cream and other creams, and I have found that it has mostly been false. So this is why I'm sharing this information. If you haven't watched that first video, that's fine. I do recommend that you watch it and see where I started my journey. But if not, I will be including the pictures from the first month in this video. So let's get started. So if you're watching this video, you're probably familiar with this cream called Boroline. This cream is a tattoo fading cream. It is advertised as a tattoo removing cream, but as I discussed in my first video, I think this is sort of deceptive advertising. It fades tattoos, supposedly. I don't believe it has the power to remove tattoos. Maybe over a period of a couple of years, it might fade tattoos, but as you'll see, it hasn't really lived up to its name. So in my first video, I highlighted some websites and some YouTube videos that claim this cream removes tattoos. As you can see from the picture below and from the wording, permanent tattoo removal cream, remove your unwanted tattoos. This really piqued my curiosity, and this is why I started using the creams, because I wanted to see if the tattoo removal cream actually does what it says. Now you'll see on this website, and again, I mentioned this in my first video, the price for this cream is $19.99, but you can purchase this cream very cheaply through Chinese retailers. Now, there are some issues that come up when you purchase creams or when you purchase anything from these Chinese manufacturers. And actually, I'm going to make a separate video about this because up until now, I have had a pretty good experience with these Chinese manufacturers, but I finally hit some road bumps and I wanted to share that, but I'm going to do that in another video. So on these websites, you'll see these claims from supposed customers saying that after 6 days or after a week, the tattoo is gone. And as I shared in my first video, this is impossible for these creams to do this type of removal. The removal that you are seeing in these photos, it's either photoshopped or this is laser removal, or it could be both. But I recommend that you don't believe any of these reviews, any of the reviews that you see online, whether it's websites or YouTube videos. To my knowledge, I am the first person to post honest reviews of this tattoo removal cream. So here is where I started. October 7th, 2020, I took pictures of my tattoos. I took these pictures without thinking that I was going to post them on YouTube for the world to see. So these pictures are not the greatest quality, but you can get a general idea of where I'm at in my tattoo removal journey. So this is where I started. This is my left shoulder and my right shoulder. I have stars, as I mentioned in my first video. I'm just not really keen on having stars on my shoulder anymore. I'm reaching 50 years old. I have kids. I have a profession that frowns upon having tattoos. So I just decided I wanted to remove these. Before going to laser removal treatment, I wanted to try these creams just to see if it would work. I hypothesized that they weren't going to work, that these creams weren't going to work. However, I was and still am hopeful that the fading process will occur and it will knock off one or maybe two visits to the laser treatment center. So it will hopefully save me $1,000, maybe $2,000 in tattoo removal visits. So here is October 7th. This is after the first month, November 4th, 2020. You can see there's really no change. So this is the moment you've been waiting for. After 2 months, this was the state of my tattoos. Now, the tattoos look a little bit lighter. I feel that they're a little bit lighter, just a tiny bit. And this is after 3 months of using the cream twice a day for 3 months. So I took these photos on January 6th. And as you can see, the tattoos are still there. They haven't disappeared miraculously, and they haven't really faded much. I think the lighting in the second month is a little bit more generous than in the third month, but the overall message should be clear to you. These creams are not miracle creams. They're not going to remove your tattoos after months, let alone weeks. So this is the main point that I wanted to share with whoever is watching this video. Don't expect a miracle with these creams. This is after 3 months of faithful application of this cream, generous application, massaging the cream in, waiting for it to absorb into my skin. So after 3 months, this is what I'm left with. I'm left with my tattoos looking pretty much the same way that they looked after 3 months. So I have 3 more tattoos. Let me show you those now. So this is my bicep, my right forearm, and my left forearm. This is where I started on October 7th, 2020. This is after 1 month of using the cream. And if you didn't see my first video, please watch that video. But I talked about this fading here, and some fading here, and some fading here. I've had these tattoos for about 25 years. And so this fading that you're seeing was there before. It was just a natural process that my body has gone through to break down and remove these tattoos. Obviously, my tattoos are very dark, and they have been largely covered because I don't walk around with short sleeve shirts very often, and I rarely go to the beach, so there's very little sun exposure to these tattoos. So this is after 2 months of using the cream. As you can see, again, as I said with the stars, there is really no difference in any fading here. The light on this last one, again, is very generous. It's in direct sunlight. So you can see clearly some of the fading. Now, I do think, if you ask me, I do feel like the creams are working very, very slowly, but I do feel like they are helping with the fading process, but very, very slightly. Let me show you the third month. So this is after 3 months of using the creams. Of course, my tattoos are still there. They haven't disappeared. Whether they are fading or not, it's really difficult to see that because, again, as I mentioned in my first video, I stare at my tattoos while I'm applying the cream. So I'm looking at them every day, twice a day, for a few minutes. Whereas before in the past, especially the past 8 years, I haven't looked at them at all. I've ignored them actually, and I've always covered them up. So I do feel like some of the fading is occurring, especially on this tattoo, but I was really thinking about it. This is a huge area where I'm applying the tattoo removal cream very generously. I probably do the most work on this tattoo. And you can actually see there's a small admission here. There's actually a tattoo underneath this tattoo. I didn't put this tattoo here because I wanted to cover up this tattoo. I put this tattoo here because I wanted that tattoo in that place, and there just happened to be another tattoo there. I did like the tattoo that was underneath, but I wanted this tattoo more at the time. I think I was 22 years old, 23 years old, so this was quite a while ago. I don't feel like any fading has taken place on this smaller tattoo, but I do feel that some fading has also taken place on my bicep. Now, this just could be my perception of staring at my tattoos and maybe with a little hope that they're fading, that I'm seeing this. But when I look at the pictures, especially if I go back to the beginning, yeah, maybe there's a little bit of fading, but really, if I had to choose between yes and no, I would say no. If I was allowed to say to choose between yes, no, and maybe, then I would be in between no and maybe, if that makes sense to everyone. So this is after my 3 months of using the cream. Now I plan on using 3 more months of the cream. So I'm going to complete the 6-month trial that I set out to do. So I will continue to use this cream. Now you're probably wondering why this picture contains Tat Eraser and J Suing rather than Boroline. I actually addressed this in another video that I posted. I believe it's my second video. I haven't made many. But I talk about these tattoo removal creams that look like Boroline. And I actually ordered some and I received them. And I'm going to talk about this in another video. So be on the lookout for that video where I talk about these other creams. But I did order more Boroline. I have more Boroline, and I'm going to use the Boroline for 6 months. After the 6 months, or maybe at the end of the 6 months, I'll start using these other creams. So I'll discuss these other creams again in another video, so be on the lookout for that video. I'll also post another video about this saran wrap. I was wondering whether I should use the saran wrap. I've done the saran wrap once. I talk about it in my first video, but I was really wondering about where this came from, why they started using saran wrap, why they started recommending saran wrap for this tattoo removal cream. So I did a little research, and I'm going to share that research and my thoughts on using saran wrap in my next video. So thank you very much for watching this video. I really hope it was helpful to some people. If it helps just a handful of people, then I'm happy to post these videos. But please like these videos and leave some comments if you have any questions. But let me know that you're getting something from these videos. I hope so, because I was looking for this information before I bought this Boroline cream, and I'm happy to share the results with you. So please subscribe, like the videos, just so I know that someone is getting something from these videos, and be on the lookout for part 3, which will be months 4 and 5, as well as the video on the saran wrap. And then I'll be posting another video about the other tattoo removal creams that look like Boroline. So thank you very much for watching this video. Leave a comment or a question if you have any questions, and look out for my other videos. Take care.